paranormal movies got a huge popularity boost during the 2010s, with the Insidious franchise, the Paranormal Activity series, and of course, the Conjuring cinematic universe. Horror fans and moviegoers can't get enough of things that go bump in the night. I bring up today's subject for a couple of reasons, partly because the fourth and supposedly final Conjuring movie is out now. But most importantly, you can't talk about the season of Halloween and scary movies without mentioning a ghost story or two. I've always wondered which is the better movie. The first Conjuring was a terrifying tale of a haunted house and the pair of demonologists who arrived to save the day. The sequel was more or less the same, but somehow managed to up the ante by bringing in the Warrens' home life. At the end of it all, which spooky story stands taller? Which one is scarier, and which one is the better movie? The plot. Both movies are based on true events, one taking place in Rhode Island and the other in the London borough of Enfield. They both feature families who are coming under siege from a demonic spirit, and the Warrens trying their best to provide evidence so that the church can intervene and perform an exorcism. It also happens that while they are doing their work, their home and work also become targets of demonic presence. In terms of structure and execution, the movies are relatively the same. If you were to watch them back to back, you'd guess the story beats pretty quickly. Each family gets their fair share of hauntings, as well as moments of levity as the movie goes on. The Conjuring 2 tries to add some spice to the mix by making the impending possible death of Ed Warren a shadow that hangs over the entire movie, as well as the critics expressing doubt over the situation. It's interesting enough to grant a difference in plot, but in terms of structure, it's more or less the same. The scares. No good horror movie is complete without a substantial number of scenes to keep you up at night, and both movies deliver. The invisible or off-screen witch that torments the Perron family maintains a presence where they can be attacked at any moment. The uneasy atmosphere of the house, mixed with its worn-down and dull look, makes it an ideal breeding ground for demonic shenanigans. Meanwhile, across the pond, the Hodgson family is dealing with the ghost of an old man who wants them out of his house, only for it to turn out that this ghost is being controlled by a demonic nun. Speaking of which, this nun alone makes the movie far more terrifying than the first. I mean, just look at it. You wouldn't want to see that at the end of a dark hallway, or even a lit-up one, for that matter. There's also the Crooked Man, who has an effectively creepy scene about halfway through the movie, as well as a jump scare that pretty much confirms that he's getting his own spin-off. Well, it was confirmed at the time. These are both well-crafted scares, thanks to the talents of director James Wan. His commitment to playing around with the placement and movement of the camera makes it for an intriguing watch, and has some cool moments. I will say the second movie gets the edge purely for the transformation of the dog into the Crooked Man, not to mention that nun. I had borderline nightmares about this character when I first saw this movie. The characters. Ed and Lorraine Warren are interesting, smart, and dynamic characters, who use their resources to the best they can to help both families. You get to see their side of things, compiling evidence, interviews, getting to the bottom of the situation, and determining the best course of action. It's almost like watching a detective movie, but with a ghost or demon as the main suspect. As far as both families go, they're fairly typical. There's nothing really outstanding about either one. The only difference is that the mother gets possessed in the first movie, while the daughter is possessed in the second. It's not as if these characters are annoying or clumsily written. Far from it. They're all realistic portrayals of kids and parents being thrust upon with an extraordinary paranormal figure. The script gives enough so that you root for them, but nothing about either family really stands out. Both The Conjuring 1 and 2 are well-made, scary movies with plenty of genuine thrills, cinematography that makes you feel as if you're in the room with these characters, and writing that takes you on an incredible journey through these paranormal adventures. I'd highly recommend checking them out, especially if you're a fan of James Wan. For the sake of this video, however, I'm giving it to Conjuring 2. It had a scarier antagonist, the personal connection to the Warrens was more rooted, and the scale of the movie feels bigger than the first. Still, while I prefer the sequel, I think both movies are worth watching as a double feature.